session for the PCCT. But if you're interested, I've got some interesting statistics about web browsers and operating systems. This site is pretty good. They take all the stats, gather them together. So if you want to see comparisons, I could show you that. I could show you the site and you can take a look at it and we can have a very healthy discussion. It's up to you if you guys want it or not. See my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you can. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. So let me just move this down here.
I see your desktop. Am I supposed to see an application or a browser?
Yeah,
Yep,
you're
I
going to see
see it.
stats. Can you see numbers?
Nope,
Yes.
I
just
want
the desktop.
You have the stats now, make it full screen.
Yep, I see them.
Can you see them now?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
great.
So what you got here is, first of all, these people do statistics and they do it by month. It's called W3 Schools Famous Month-by-Month Browser Statistics. So we're going to take a look at some of these things and then you're going to go into the next step and each one is going to drill down further. So as of October 20th, the #1 browser that's being used is Chrome, 80.4%. Edge is 5.2%, but you can see that Edge is moving up. If you go from the months before, it's becoming more and more popular. And you'll notice that Chrome is just dropping slightly as you're going down. So now it's down to 80.4, whereas before it was in the 81 a few months ago. Firefox is doing very well, 7.1%. Safari is 3.7%. And Opera, or is it Oprah? I don't know. What do you call it? Cal would tell us if he's here. He'd know what.
Opera.
Is it Opera? Is that what you call it?
That's I don't know if it's right, but that's what I call it.
Okay. So okay, good enough. So that's 2.1%. So that's in October, the most popular browsers. And what they say is these people have over 60 million monthly visits and people check the stats and da-da-da. You can read the long-term trends of browser usage. Click on the browser names to see detailed browser information. Well, we'll go one step further as we go through. So you see that. Now, the next step is we're going here and you'll take a look at what operating systems people are using when they're going in with their browsers. So the #1, drum roll please, Windows 10, 63.1%. Windows 8, 2.4%. This is October 2020. Win 7 is 6%, so it's still up there. Win XP, 0.1%. Linux is 4.7%. And it's been pretty well the same for a while. Mac is 10.5%. Chrome OS is 0.6%. And your mobiles, I guess that would probably be Android. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's Android. And no, I guess, yeah, there probably is the two combined. The iPhone and the Androids, 12.6%. So that's the OS platforms that are being used when they go on the web. So now the browsers display. And this is interesting. Now this goes January 2020. That was the last time they checked that out, I guess. So there's other high res now. It's 37.5, but the one that that was standard for quite a while, and I remember, I think that's what's on my system, 1920 by 1080. And then that's 20.3%. The one below that, 13, actually it's more usage, 1366 by 768. 1280 by 1024 is 2.4%. 1280 by 800 is 1.8%. 1024 by 768 is only 1.4%. And then some of them that are lower in total are 9%. So that was January 2020, and it looks like everybody wants better and better screen resolution, probably because it's there anyways. You know, you buy a new monitor, it's going to have pretty good resolution right from the get-go. One of the things that I would look for is the what do you call it? The delay time. You want it as its response.
Lag?
Pardon?
Lag?
The lag. Well, no, they call it something else, I believe. When
Refresh.
Pardon?
Refresh.
No, it's not the
Re-
refresh. There's something else. It basically says how fast the thing appears on your screen.
Resolution?
No,
Frame rate.
no, it's not the frame rate. It's something else. They talk about milliseconds, so many milliseconds to form on your screen. Oh, geez. When you buy a monitor, that's one of the stats that they give you. And the lesser the milliseconds, the faster response the screen is. I forget
I guess
the
we
term.
don't have anybody that plays computer games here because they would know it right off the bat.
Yes. It's very funny because I have on my Windows 7, I've got a very fast monitor. And it was actually it's an Asus, but it's primarily it was for gaming. But I said, I've got an older system and I've got Windows 7 on it. Why not have a fast screen? And it really does. It boots up pretty fast. The problem is the rest of it lags when it starts loading up the programs. But as far as the screenshots are concerned, boom, they're just right there. Anyways, okay. So you take a look at the reses, and I think, let me just see what my computer here says here. When I do this, here, let me just see something here. No, that's not what I want, but let me just do this for a second. Yeah. The display settings here are, 1920 by 1080. That's what they recommend, and that's what it's on this machine. That's the highest my machine with this monitor will go, is 1920 by 1080. So that's pretty well over here. This one here, 20.3%. It's, it's very popular, but as you can see, there can be there are different shapes of screens and so on. So some of these are a little bit different, but I remember that the standard used to be 800 by 600, and then it moved up to 1024 by 768. And then you get this higher and higher resolution as you go along. So that's the screen resolutions. Now the browsers for mobiles, maybe this will break it down for us. In October 2020, iOS, that's Apple, 1.60%. 10.87 are Androids that go on to them, and 0.04% is Windows. And then there's others. So what does that tell you? And this goes to show you what I was told a long time ago. iOS are people that really want to be, let's say, saying that they are in a group by themselves. But the Android, because of price, people are accessing using Android. They're accessing the web using their Androids more than iOS, even though iOS is a very popular device. Now browsers, Chrome, the Google Chrome browser in October, 80.4 was what it was. And then it has the various versions of Chrome browser that were used. So they've got a C88, C87, going backwards. So there's a certain version here that's very popular. But anyways, that's that part of it. And they compare it between 2020 and 2019. Now, for those of you that like Firefox was 7.1, but it looks like this FF81 version is the one that's the most popular right now. It's got 5.0 out of the 7.1. So that's that. Edge. So Edge had 5.2, and it's got something here about 2.9. This must be the brand new Edge, probably, because that wasn't that released in October. I think that's when it was. So that would be the brand new one. But the one before that is 1.4, and then afterwards, there wasn't much change for quite a while, you can see. And then so you've got this other version, 1.8. So
how many people like Edge?
I like the new Edge. I didn't like the previous one, but the new Edge is playing videos properly, and it's doing a lot of good stuff. And also it's not messing up with some of the databases that I access online. So it's working out quite nicely for me.
That's because the new Edge is Chrome based.
They say it pretty well is Chrome, but it's not. And I'll tell you why it's not. It doesn't spy on you as much as Google Chrome does. I can
Right,
show, you know, I've shown people in the past that I have something that's called super anti-spyware. And it shows me all the crud that Google has left for cookies, but it's really to watch you. And those cookies are totally unnecessary. And I can, if I don't clean up my machine, and I've been using Chrome actively, I will tell you that I can have 500 to 700 cookies that this thing will wipe right out because they're totally unnecessary. And when I stay mostly with Microsoft Edge, I don't have that problem. I don't have that many cookies accumulating. Now, I'll tell you this with Microsoft Edge that I have had. There are some people, I guess they're using certain programming with their webinars, but I have to allow pop-ups. Basically, the default for my Microsoft Edge is to not allow pop-ups. But for those particular courses that I take that use this certain type of formatting for their presentations, I have to unlock the block pop-ups for that session. But other than that, I really have no more problems now. I used to have problems when I was using Zoom and playing videos. When I stopped and then started and wanted to go backwards, everything would freeze when I used the previous Edge. But the new Edge, I don't run into those problems at all. It's a very nice, smooth design, and it actually is designed to protect you as well.
I noticed,
So-
I just checked my Edge and it's version 8.6 point whatever now.
That's probably in 2.9.
Yeah, that's probably the 2.9.
But let me just see, you know, that's a good thing. Let me just see something if I can see the version of mine. Because there's two. You'll have a different kind of an icon. When you go to Microsoft Edge, you'll have a different icon than the previous Microsoft Edge. And my system never threw out the older Edge. I've got the two Edges. How about you guys? Have you gone to the new Edge?
What does the icon look like? Mine is kind of a blue sweep that goes around.
Yeah, it looks like,
something-
you know what it does? It looks like, what do you call it?
Like a donut that's open at the bottom right-hand side.
It's
Yes.
like a shrimp. It's like a
It's
shrimp.
like a
only
blue
it's
shrimp.
blue shrimp, blue and green shrimp. That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
but I guess I got the new one. I know that I locked it out and I got along much better without it.
Yeah, okay, so let me just see if I can take a look, and if you take a look at your version right here, I'll take a look at my version. Microsoft Edge settings. Let's see if I can just find it. Is there a help somewhere?
It was at upper right and then the three dots and then settings.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look now. Let's see if there it is. There's help. Let's see if it's there.
No,
About-
no.
Okay, just hold on. So what have I
Yeah.
got? What version? I've got version 86.0.622.63.
Yep, that's what
Oh,
I've
it's
got.
updating it right now. When I put this on, it's just started. It's made, here it says, this browser is made possible by the Chromium open source project and the open source software.
I've
So
got
let's update.
version 88.0685 on Linux.
Well, okay, so you might have a slightly different version for Linux though.
Yeah, it's newer.
Now, this one is 64-bit. Is yours 64-bit?
Oh, where do I find that? Same place?
Where it says about, I've got Microsoft Edge to finish updating, restart Microsoft Edge. Oh yeah, gonna have to do that. Oh yeah. So I may actually wind up cutting off for a second. It says restart, but let me just see if this is just temporary. We'll see.
My numbers are the very same as yours, except mine end in 0.68.
Yeah,
So
mine
does
is
mine.
64-bit.
Mine is now 86.0, 0.622, 0.68. That's called the official build, 64-bit. But anyways, so if you've got, can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, that's what
Yours?
mine looks like.
Okay, so here's the little doodad right there. If you can see where, just a below about, that's what the new one looks like. Now the old one looks different. Okay, so let me just go over that and let me just see what we've got here. Browser Safari. So Safari's got the various versions here, and the latest one looks like S14. And what's the other one? Browser Opera. And that's 1.4071. Anyway, so that's just a little bit of tidbits that you can play with and play around with and think about them, okay?
I was surprised that the number for Firefox. I thought that would have been higher. I mean, I had not looked at the stats before, but when I saw 7.1, I was quite surprised.
I prefer Firefox. That's what I've been using for a while.
I would say most people that I know use Firefox. So I don't know everyone, of course, but I was surprised at that 7% number.
Yeah, Firefox is my choice too.
I use Chrome on Windows, Firefox on Linux.
I use Chrome on my phone on Android.
Yeah,
But
me
I
too.
like Firefox on my laptop.